Hello, and welcome to the City of Thorold's online public information center for the South Main Street Bridge and Pedestrian Linkage project. This project is following the Municipal Class Environmental Assessment process for a Schedule B project. This online public information center will be available for review from September 16, 2020 until October 15, 2020. The purpose of this online public information center, PIC, is to outline the South Main Street Bridge and Pedestrian Linkage study area, and the reasons and objectives for undertaking this project. This PIC will also outline the Municipal Class Environmental Assessment process, which is being followed in accordance with the Environmental Planning Act, and information that has been compiled from various technical studies undertaken for this project to provide key information on the existing conditions within the South Main Street Bridge and Pedestrian Linkage study area. Alternative design concepts which have been developed throughout this environmental assessment are presented in this presentation, and we are seeking input to identify the public's preferred option for addressing concerns with the bridge. After review of this PIC, please participate in the associated survey and provide any additional comments or questions you may have to the project team members. The South Main Street Bridge and Pedestrian Linkage study area is located within the community of Port Robinson, between Cross Street to the north and South Main Street to the south. The existing bridge structure spans over a segmented area of the former Welland River. The study stems from the Ontario Structural Inspection Manual OSIM biannual inspection that took place in 2018. Overall, the OSIM determined that the South Main Street structure is in poor condition, with deterioration on the abutment walls, ballast walls, abutment bearings, wing walls, approach sidewalk, barrier on deck, girders, deck top, pier bearings and columns, sidewalks, and curbs. As per the condition of the bridge, the City of Thorold has closed the South Main Street Bridge for public use due to public safety concerns. The bridge serves as an important pedestrian linkage within the community of Port Robinson and is utilized for active transportation, recreational activities, and provides the local public with opportunity to enjoy the natural scenery. The City of Thorold constructed a temporary walking path along River Street to the west of the existing South Main Street Bridge to provide pedestrian connectivity between South Main Street and Cross Street. In order to address concerns related to the South Main Street Bridge and pedestrian linkage in the community of Port Robinson, the City of Thorold is undertaking a Municipal Class Environmental Assessment. The Municipal Class Environmental Assessment is a process by which municipal infrastructure projects are planned in accordance with the Environmental Assessment Act. The Municipal Class Environmental Assessment gives due regard to protect the environment, minimize environmental effects, and includes the involvement of affected stakeholders in the decision-making process. This project is currently in Phase 2 of the Municipal Class Environmental Assessment process, and this online public information center is being conducted in accordance with the mandatory consultation requirements. Information received by the project team through this public information center will be considered, and comments will be incorporated into the assessment of alternative design concepts. For additional information on the Municipal Class Environmental Assessment process, please visit municipalclassea.ca. At the commencement of this Municipal Class Environmental Assessment, a problem opportunity statement was developed as per Phase 1, Step 1 of the MCEA requirements, in order to identify the problem or opportunity to be addressed throughout the study. This statement is developed to provide a clear objective and indicate the scope of the project. The problem opportunity statement is, as per the Ontario Structural Inspection Manual biannual inspection in 2018, the existing South Main Street Bridge is in poor condition and has been closed for public use at this time. Therefore, the City of Thorold wishes to explore opportunities to address the need to provide a safe and reliable pedestrian linkage between South Main Street and Cross Street in the Port Robinson area. To address the problem opportunity statement, alternative design solutions were developed, which will be evaluated based on a series of evaluation criteria. Alternative 1 includes the removal of the existing South Main Street Bridge and construction of a multi-use pathway along River Street, connecting River Street to South Main Street. Alternative 2 includes rehabilitation of the South Main Street Bridge. Alternative 3 includes replacement of the existing South Main Street Bridge superstructure and rehabilitation of the existing substructure. And Alternative 4 includes a full replacement of the existing South Main Street structure with a new pedestrian bridge. The following project studies have been undertaken within the South Main Street Bridge study area as part of this environmental assessment study. Natural Environment Study, which included a review of the terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems within the study area. A Structural Assessment, which included a bridge condition survey and life cycle cost analysis. A Cultural Heritage Landscape, and Built Heritage Resources Assessment, which included a Cultural Heritage Resource Evaluation and a Cultural Heritage Impact Assessment. Archaeology Studies, which included a Stage 1 archaeological assessment, and Socio-Economic Environment Study, which includes public consultation and review of land use. The Natural Environmental Existing Conditions studies indicated that the study area is dominated by the Welland River East Wetland Complex, forested area, and residential properties, with manicured lawns and planted trees. The forested area surrounding the South Main Street Bridge study area consists mainly of opportunist tree communities, dominated by black walnut, balsam poplar, and Norway maple. There were no rare species of vegetation or vegetation communities found during field investigations. The South Main Street Bridge study area contains habitat that supports a variety of wildlife species characteristic of the Lake Erie, Lake Ontario ecoregion. Migratory bird nests, including cliff swallow and American robin, as well as species-at-risk bird nests, including barn swallow, were confirmed present on the existing bridge structure during field investigations undertaken in 2019. Species at risk that are known to be present within and adjacent to the South Main Street Bridge study area include barn swallow, snapping turtle, and monarch. However, suitable habitat is present for several other species at risk. The watercourse associated with the South Main Street Bridge is an abandoned portion of the Welland River, which still maintains downstream connection through a structural culvert under the railroad and West Welland Canal. The Welland River was identified as a cool water watercourse, known to contain a wide variety of fish species. To determine the existing social and cultural environment conditions of the study area, a Stage 1 archaeological assessment, a cultural heritage resource evaluation, and a heritage impact assessment was completed. The Stage 1 archaeological assessment found that the study area is comprised of a mixture of areas of archaeological potential, previously assessed areas of no further concern, and areas of no archaeological potential. Areas of archaeological potential that could be impacted by the project will be subject to a Stage 2 archaeological assessment in accordance with the 2011 Standards and Guidelines for Consultant Archaeologists. The Cultural Heritage Resource Evaluation identified that the South Main Street Bridge is a rare example of a multi-span T-beam girder bridge, and due to these findings, a Cultural Heritage Impact Assessment was completed to evaluate the alternative design concepts and make mitigation recommendations. The Cultural Heritage Impact Assessment concluded that from a heritage perspective, alternative design concept 3, i.e., replacing the existing South Main Street Bridge superstructure and rehabilitating the existing substructure, is the best alternative, but identified viable conservation and mitigation strategies for the remaining design concepts as well. Additionally, socioeconomic investigations indicate that the study area is located within the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority regulated area, and that River Road, located adjacent to the South Main Street Bridge, is identified on the Niagara Region Bikeways Master Plan as an infill link on Municipal Road or other corridor. To determine the existing structural conditions of the South Main Street Bridge, a condition survey was performed by Bridge Check Canada in September 2019. It was determined that no original or rehabilitation drawings were available for this structure, and due to this lack of information, the steel reinforcement details on all concrete elements cannot be confirmed, and therefore cannot be evaluated for their structural capacity. The concrete piers exhibit significant deterioration that requires extensive rehabilitation or reconstruction, which would require that the superstructure be jacked and temporarily supported. However, due to the condition of the pier faces and the lack of information, the ability for the piers to support the jacking loads cannot be confirmed. Due to the risks associated with these works and a lack of information available, some alternatives will be eliminated from consideration. Each of the alternative design concepts will be evaluated on the associated impacts and benefits it provides, as it relates to the following criteria: structural and technical, including safety and traffic operations, support for active transportation, and construction staging and duration, and extensive service life. Natural environment, including environmentally sensitive areas, wildlife habitats for terrestrial species, fisheries and aquatic impacts, and species at risk. Socio- and cultural environment, including land use and socioeconomic conditions, archaeological, built heritage and cultural heritage features, construction impacts, and public input during consultation. And financial, including capital costs and associated operation and maintenance costs. Alternative Design Concept 1 involves the complete removal of the existing structure in the current location and providing a multi-use pathway along River Street that connects South Main Street. This multi-use pathway could be used by both pedestrians and cyclists. The scope of work for this alternative design concept would include, but not be limited to, removing the existing superstructure and substructure, including portions of the piers, grading along River Street to provide adequate width for a multi-use pathway, paving of the multi-use pathway, and installation of a pedestrian barrier if necessary. Alternative Design Concept 2 would attempt to extend the service life of the existing South Main Street bridge structure by 10 to 15 years by removing and replacing concrete that is found to be deteriorated. The scope of work for Alternative Design Concept 2 would include, but not be limited to, concrete patch repairs on the deck top girders, soffit, abutments, piers, and wing walls, replacement of curb and sidewalk with curbs on either side, jack structure and replace bearings at the abutments and replace steel plate bearings at piers, and replace the deck drains. Please note that due to the substantial structural engineering risks associated with this design option, Alternative Design Concept 2 was not carried forward for consideration. Alternative Design Concept 3 involves the removal and replacement of the existing superstructure of the bridge and rehabilitation of the substructure. This option would extend the service life of the bridge by up to 20 years. The existing substructure would be rehabilitated using concrete patch repair or reconstruction techniques. Various types of new superstructures could be considered. However, the recommendation is to utilize the steel truss type, so to reduce the dead load on the substructure. The scope of work for Alternative Design Concept 3 would include, but not be limited to, removal of the existing superstructure, concrete patch repairs or reconstruction of the abutment walls, ballast walls, piers, and wing walls, installation of new bearings, install a new bridge superstructure, and install a new pedestrian railing. Alternative Design Concept 4 involves complete removal and replacement of the existing South Main Street bridge structure in the current location. The service life of a new bridge would be 75 years. As the intention is to provide a pedestrian linkage at this location, a pedestrian bridge with lesser dead load compared to the existing bridge is recommended, such as a pedestrian truss bridge or narrower pedestrian girder bridge. The scope of work for Alternative Design Concept 4 would include, but not be limited to, removal and disposal of the existing superstructure and substructure, installation of a dewatering system, construct bridge foundations and abutments, install bearings, construct or install a new superstructure that is compliant with the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, grading around the bridge, and installation of a new pedestrian railing. Following this online public information center, the project team will review and respond to any comments or questions received. Results from the stakeholder survey will be included in the evaluation criteria for the alternative design concepts. Each of the alternative design concepts will be evaluated to identify a recommended design which will be presented, along with the study findings, to City Council for direction and selection of a technically preferred solution. We thank you for your participation in this online public information center and welcome your comments. Information is being collected in accordance with the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. With the exception of personal information, all comments will become part of the public record. If you have any questions, comments, require additional information, wish to be added to the project contact list, or have accessibility requirements in order to participate in this project, please contact one of the project team members listed. In addition, we ask that you please take the following survey to provide input on your preferred alternative design concept. Please click on the blue box to be redirected to the Online Public Information Center Stakeholder Response Survey.